Hey everyone, it's that freaking metal guy here, and I'm here with another interview with the band When the Deadbolt Breaks. Not When the Deadbolt Locks, like I said in the beginning of the interview. I made a mistake. I have the name written wrong in the notes where I had all my questions, and for some odd reason I decided to say When the Deadbolt Locks instead of When the Deadbolt Breaks. I knew the band's name, I just completely forgot. I zoned out, what I say. But this is a band that has interesting music. They're very experimental, if you would say. But it's great. I'd never interview a band where I don't like their music, and I definitely like these guys. It's different. It's very different from the normal, how you would have other genres, I would guess. And it's definitely worth your time if you want to hear something new, something pretty much really new, something you don't really hear every single day. So definitely give these guys a check out. Link to some of their stuff in the description below. Hope you guys enjoyed this interview, and I hope you guys have a rocking day. I'll see you guys later. So, give the people watching a brief history of the band.
Well, when the Deadbolt Breaks started in about mid 2004, I think, and it was actually just myself and a drummer, and we started writing our first album, and we got signed by Spare Change Records pretty quick off the bat. Like, actually, we didn't even have the record finished yet when we had gotten signed. So we quickly put a band together and kind of went from there. And the band's changed a lot over the years. There's been a lot of members in and out, but that was kind of always the theory behind it, was that it's more about the music and more about the composure of the songs and how things are written and played, as opposed to specific people in the band. But over the past couple of years, we got Rich and Mike in the band, and this is the solid lineup as of now. So this is probably the best it's ever been.
When the Deadbolt Locks, how did you come up with that name for the band?
It's When the Deadbolt Breaks, man.
Oh God! I wrote it down bad. I know that. I wrote it down wrong. I'm so sorry.
When the Deadbolt Locks is stupid.
When the Deadbolt Breaks, how did you come up with that name?
Locks.
Yeah, nothing bad. Right, it keeps everybody out. So what was the question again?
How did you come up with the name When the Deadbolt Breaks?
It's kind of an involved story. The short of it is, the first song that I'd written technically for this band before I even had a name for it was Fistful of Flowers and an Empty Handgun. And it sounds really fucked up, but the idea of that song kind of came from just an idea, like a not a vision, but just a fucking like a, I guess like a daydream that I had about this cartoon kind of picture, I guess, a cartoon scene where there's a guy at the door with the gun and, fistful of flowers in his hand, and there's this whole involved picture to it. But that's kind of where the name came from. The name and that song were kind of totally intertwined. And at first, when I came up with the name When the Deadbolt Breaks, people that were in the band weren't really too fond of it. It's like, oh, it's too long and it's too hard to remember and all this, and it just fucking stuck. It just made sense with what we're doing, and it just kind of fits the feeling and the vibe for what we've got going on.
So, what kind of bands influence your music?
That's a
I think we have a very varying array of of background. I like I'm a big Steve Albini fan personally. I like Big Black and Shellac. I love Jesus Lizard for drums. But Mike's got a whole separate set of people he listens to that I probably never even heard of. Really.
You're all day. I think and that's kind of what makes, I guess, what we do, is that, I listen to a lot of jazz and 70s rock and psychedelic type stuff. I mean, there's really a lot of influences, and basically anything that's unique and different, and that's kind of what we feel like we do. We don't want to really necessarily sound like anybody. We just, whatever we feel like at the moment is what we do, and it just kind of happens. And if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't.
So, if for someone who has never heard of your band before and someone who has never listened to your music, how would you describe your music towards them?
We were talking about that earlier today, and I don't know. I think, like, when we're described, I mean, typically Black Sabbath comes into play, and I think that's like this genre, the stoner rock doom genre. Everybody says, "Oh, Black Sabbath," and I kind of hate that. Like, I like Black Sabbath and everything, but not everybody fucking sounds like Black Sabbath,
Yeah.
I don't know. We just do our own thing, man. It's rock and roll to a point. I mean,
There's Floydian influences.
Yeah, there's a lot of psychedelic influences, really, and you know, so we get stuck in the doom genre, and I don't know if we're necessarily doom anymore. Maybe we were when we first started, but we're not metal. You know, we're not hardcore. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's hard to really explain what we do.
We're very melodic at times, you know, like very advanced melodies going on, and but then sometimes we're just not, and we're just slow and fucking dark, you know.
And terrible. It's
Yeah.
shit, really.
I mean, sometimes people they just want to go to the next part, just stop, you know. But
And actually, that has happened. He had let a friend of his hear the disc. He's like, I just wanted the fucking song to just move, to do something different. We're like, nope, it just doesn't.
but it's got to create, you know, it creates attention, and that's you know, what does music do? It takes you places. So what do we want our music to take you to a place? It's going to take it. It might make you uncomfortable, but that's what it's going to do. You know, it might make you happy, might make you angry, but at some point it's gonna make you kind of like disappointed. You know, not because it's bad music, but it's just what music does.
It's a bad feeling.
It doesn't do the typical thing that you expect.
So
Yeah.
when you listen to it and you're like, God, this is going on forever. Fuck yeah, it is. It's supposed to go on forever
I mean,
because that's
we-
what life is. You know.
we've done shows before where it's literally one song for 45 to 50 minutes. I mean, and sometimes we don't even know what the fuck we're going to do. I mean, we have our set songs and we've got set parts and everything, but I don't think we've ever played one song the same way twice live. It's always different. And it's, not necessarily because we're shitty musicians, but
Exactly the opposite. You know?
we've gotten to grow with each other, and kind of the whole idea behind what we were doing, and we wanted to do like almost like a jazz project in a weird way, where like there's a lot of improvisation going on, a ton of it actually. Every show we just make shit up most of the time. You know, I mean, like I said, we have set songs, we've got set parts, but if we're in a part and it just feels right and it's going good and the groove is there and everybody's kind of in that same zone and we're tripping out on it, we'll just fucking stay there for as long as we have to.
It'd be like a free form metal, if you will. You know.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the word metal, but you know, heavy free form.
Well, speaking of like long songs you guys do, I read up on your bio, and you guys released an album that was 2 hours long.
Yeah, that was in 2010. That was The Last Day of Sun.
Do you think because the length of the album that turned people off from listening to the album?
I'm sure. You know, I mean, it's hard to get through some of it, but again, I mean, it's an eclectic style, and we know that. You know, I mean, we'll go play shows with, like, we get set up with metal bands, and like I said, we're not metal, but we'll play with anybody, and we get stuck with metal bands, and you know, their songs are there's a beginning, a middle, and end. You know, it's a mosh part, whatever, and we get up there and we just do it very differently. You know, some of the songs are 15, 20 minutes long, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, sometimes, like I said, they're very slow. They just don't move, and they build up. There's little build-ups, like, and I'm not comparing us to classical because I'm not conceited at all. But if you look at like a classical song, the way it's written, there's movements, you know, and in between there's little things that come and go that build the song up to make it to a crescendo, to that big point, you know, and that's kind of what we do. And sometimes it's, you know, it's difficult to get all the way through. So
It's you know, it's self-serving too at times. You know, like I don't care if somebody else doesn't like it. I like to put 20 minutes into it and then get to that point for myself, and then I have like, you know, a little tiny like baby orgasm like when we get there, and it's fucking fantastic, you know.
comes all the stage is pretty fucking
Literally.
No, but I mean, we've never cared. I mean, we like it when people like us, of course. I mean, everybody does, but you don't go to a show and say, God, I hope everybody likes us, because then you're just going to fail and it's going to suck, you know, or you're going to try too hard to please everybody and you're just not going to please yourself. So we go into everything, like every show, writing a song, whatever it is what do we want to do? You know, and if they like it, cool, that's awesome. It's a notch in our belt. But if they don't, that's okay, man. I mean, it's art, and art is subjective, and that's just how it goes.
We're not even kids anymore. We're not even close to being kids. Whatever we do has to be for us, you know.
Yeah. Well, speaking of how your music changed and how you come up with these different songs, how do you describe how you guys evolved as musicians and how the band has evolved over the years since you first started?
This is, I mean, the three of us. Yeah, how long have we been together for? Just the three of us.
This the lineup as it is now is I'd say probably
Close to a year.
no, almost 2 years. It's over
Yeah,
because I've been here for 2 years now, so
but
so just about 2 years old with this lineup as it is, and it's never been. And this isn't. I'm not talking shit about any of the ex musicians. I mean, the band has had a lot of really good musicians in the band, and maybe some were too good. I don't know, but this lineup as it is right now is the most cohesive. I mean, like I said, I mean, to be able to get up on stage and make things up as you go along and not have it sound like you just wrote it 5 minutes ago is difficult. It's difficult to get in that mindset, to have that same psyche going. So the band's evolved in a lot of different ways and a lot over the years, but this is easily the best it's ever been. It's the best thing that we've ever done.
So, what's the future for the plans? What are some future plans for this band? What are you guys up to?
Whatever we can do. This summer we're planning another tour. We went down south last year. We did like just an 8-day tour. So this year we want to go out Midwest. We're probably gonna do 7 or 8 days out there. We usually gig twice a month, maybe 2 or 3 times a month if we can do that. We've got a new record coming out. We actually have a pretty big announcement we're going to make over the next couple weeks as far as that goes. But the record's done. It's actually going to be double vinyl this time, which is pretty nice. We've been hoping for that.
So, if you had to pick, what's your favorite heavy metal album or any kind of album? What's your favorite album
Of all time?
of all time? I ask difficult questions.
favorite album of all time. I think you have to split it up into genres, really. I don't think I love The Wall. That's fantastic. That's cliche, but that album is perfect. I also love KSAD. That's perfect. I can't compare the two and against each other. They're both fantastic and shouldn't be changed in any way.
I can't answer.
Can't answer. He's going to plead the fifth. I agree with Rich. I mean, it's kind of hard to break down. I mean, I love Bitches Brew. Just Miles Davis. Anything that Miles Davis has ever done has fucking thrown me for a loop. Tiamat, the last shitload of records that they come out with have just blown my mind. Especially Deeper Kind of Slumber was. I don't know. It's like they just went into a room, took a lot of psychedelics, and came out as that. It's really impressive what they did. But there's every genre. There's different things, so it's kind of hard.
All right, since 2013 just started, what's your album you're most anticipating for this year to release?
Ours.
Ours.
Other than yours.
I don't listen to any current music. This is just me personally.
Yeah.
I don't listen to any music now. I listen to no new music. I have too much music in my brain to really process anything else outside of what I do, and I don't want to be influenced. So I don't even know what's going to happen musically with anybody else besides me. That's the honest answer.
Yeah. Again, I fully agree. I never listen to the radio. I leave to listen to MP3s or to CDs that I've got, or I go out hunting old 70s shit that's rare and hard to find. I mean, I don't know. I sound old and I sound typical, but I don't like a lot of the new shit that's out. It just doesn't do it for me. I mean, it's just been so done before and repetitively done over and over again, and it kind of fucking kills me. I mean, it's like the movies. There's no new ideas, so they just keep repeating the old, remaking the old movies. You can't come up with something new, So, yeah, I'm with him. I have no idea. I know I was looking forward to the new Neurosis album and the My Dying Bride, and the Neurosis album did not let me down, and the new My Dying Bride, I'm fingers crossed it's going to be fucking awesome.
Well, that's all the questions I have prepared.
Awesome.
So I hope you guys had a good time, because I did. I'll let you guys know when this video is posted, and I'll see you guys later.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, man.
No problem. I'll see you guys later.
All right.